Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
In the year 247 in the age of judges, Vartan was summoned home by a letter stating that his father has died under mysterious circumstances. Upon returning home, Vartan opened his mind to the possibility that his father's death in his hometown of Eterno was not everything that it appeared to be. Welcome to Ethereal Embrace. That's me, Vartan. Portal magic does sound pretty fun. I hope they go along with it. Hey, it could lead us to the Zill, or maybe even a good meal.
Day 2, evening, Kiirion's house. So, you guys left the basement where you found the portal, the summoning portal that was there, and you had found another stone in that summoning portal, in the actual arcane rune on the ground. And you guys had come to 3 different paths. You could either go back to town and talk to Greystone to try and clear up a little bit more of the information. You could activate the portal and jump in with the new spell stone and see where that portal magically takes you and hope that you land someplace good. Or you could go start tracking the Zill tracks that were on the outside of the fields before it starts getting too dark. So, yeah. What do you guys have in mind?
I was all about going out and tracking the tracks until we found out that we have we can make a portal, and then we can make a portal on the other end.
I vote for either doing the portal thing, or we wanted to go back and talk to the mayor too, right?
Greystone. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's
one
where
of those,
we
one of
were,
those two things.
We were at odds against on that.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm less concerned with the Zill because as of right now, we don't know if that's connected to your father's death.
Well, the tracks went out to the forest where my father died, and I was thinking maybe source. I think something's going on there. Maybe we can go out to the cabin, and that would give us more answers. I don't really trust Greystone.
And Baya, you knew about the Waystone, that if you activated it, that once you went through the portal, it would revert back to a Waystone in your hand, but it couldn't be used again until the next dawn. So you can only use it once per day.
Okay. I do believe that Baya was concerned about the Zill because they could be hurting other people, and other people could be in danger. So that's where she's going. And that's where she's trying to push everyone else. Like, what about the innocent lives that could be lost if we don't handle the Zill now that we know how to?
Yeah, you do have a point there. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards that. If they show up, I would like to be able to dispatch them so they don't hurt anybody.
Yeah, if we have any inkling of where they could be, who they could hurt, how to prevent them from hurting anyone else, that's exactly where we should go.
I'm less concerned with the people of the village, But if you think that tracking the Zill will help us find out what happened to your father, then I'll come along.
Yeah, I'm thinking more two birds with one stone on that. Plus, these people, I question a lot about my past here, but I did grow up here, and I know a lot of these people, and I don't want any harm to come to them.
Right. So follow the tracks then?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go.
Well,
All right.
How do we get out of here now?
now that we know that there's a waystone, we can take this waystone to where we presume might be the cabin. And that's the last known place of the Zill, right? That area.
Yeah.
So, if we trust our instincts enough, we can take this waystone today and go to the cabin. And if we see anything while we're there, we gather information about your father's death, but we can also track the Zill from there.
Yeah, and if something goes wrong, we can, we got another waystone to get us back here.
Exactly.
All right. So is that what we have? That is our course of action. We're walking to the cabin, the one that Tara Neal told you about?
I think we're trying to teleport there.
Trying to teleport there.
Well,
Okay.
teleporting there might not be the best idea. Are there two separate waystones, right? One to get there and one to get back?
Well, one
That's
to
what we
get
think.
to a place that we think is the cabin because we're in his father's.
Okay, but we have
Basement.
a separate one to get back.
Yes.
Yeah, we have one that we know comes back here.
Okay. My concern is getting there and being stuck until dawn, not knowing what's on the other side.
Well, the other one has not been used, yeah? Or no,
I'm also going to pull out.
it
I'm
has
going
not
to pull
been
out my
used.
hammer and be like, I think I got the hang of this now. Something comes up against us. I'll take care of it with the help of you two.
The waystone that you had, the first one that you had, links you to the basement. That one, neither waystones have been used today. They're both able to be activated today. The first one that you found takes you to the basement. The second waystone you found actually was in the basement on the arcane rune on the floor of the basement, and that one takes you to a place that you do not know what it is yet, but you are assuming that it's the cabin where Kiirion was doing all of his research.
Yeah. It's an assumption that I'm Vartan is willing to take that chance. So he's like, hey, y'all want to play around with some portal magic?
Hey, Nico, I found a note in my book, and it's the last thing I have written. It says, found a hidden door, !
Unless
Unless I didn't take notes in this notebook last time, but I thought I did.
I don't remember a hidden door.
Yeah, you told me that okay.
Oh, yep, you did. You found a hidden door. You're 100% right. I even forgot about it.
Wow.
Thank God I typed all this shit out. So you did find a little hidden door. It's about it's comfortable for, well, no, you guys are all tall. Okay, so it's about a 3-foot door. So you all could crawl down into it, but it's a little door that goes into the wall.
Like where the portal is?
No, it's just in the cellar where you guys are.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all in the basement, but it's not in that same section where the portal is. So that section where the portal is had some like rubble that was there, and then had the traps that was around it, and then the rune in the middle.
Okay.
Baya she spotted a secret door off on the far side, which should have been like an exterior wall. Like a foundation wall, but she found a secret door that was carved into there that's about 3 feet high, and she can push it to open it, and if you decide to. So yeah, I forgot. Fourth course of action.
Yeah.
So many options.
Well, I think that last time Baya was sure there were no traps, and then she found a trap.
Yeah.
So she's going to be very wary that there are ghosts around. And she's going to point the door out to the other two and say, hi, so I do believe there's a tiny little door here. I'm not sure who it's for. It's a door for ants. And What do you all think about this tiny door?
Well, it doesn't make any sense for there to be a tiny door in here. I mean, you see my size. I mean, my dad wasn't as big as me, but I mean, he was big. He was a furball, and so was my ma. So why is that in here? I'm curious.
It needs to be at least 10 times the size for a normal person to...
Right?
I'm stuck on Zoolander.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't get off of it.
Ants?
You guys find a magic little cell phone. It's very tiny.
Can we all like crawl, like get small enough to crawl into it?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
3 foot tall. Yeah, if you were to open it and it were to go into a tunnel or something, you would all be able to crawl through it. It wouldn't be super comfortable, but it's definitely you'd be capable of doing that.
Let me
All right,
see
so
if
we're
I
able to
have-
get out of that trap area, right?
Yeah,
Easily.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, investigate the door before we leave.
Yeah, I think that Baya would let one of them open it, and then try to look through it, see what she can see.
You guys want to look for traps on it?
Yeah.
I know Baya said you were kind of hesitant. Do you want?
Yeah, Baya's not opening it first.
Was it a perception check?
Probably investigation.
All right. Investigation
I'm not going to try.
is an 11.
An 11. You look over this tiny door that's 3 feet high, still pretty big. But you look over it and you don't see any traps. You feel like
Definitely
it's
no traps.
definitely no traps.
All right. I'll push the door open.
All right, and the door swings open, and it actually doesn't lead into a full-on like crawl space. It actually has a ladder that leads down, so you can go in and then crawl down this ladder.
Okay. Can I look down? I've got 60 feet of dark vision. What do I see down the ladder?
Yeah, so you poke your head into the little room and look down the ladder, and you see that it drops down about 20 feet and drops into what looks to be a decent size sewage tunnel.
Okay. So relay that back to these two. It looks like some sort of escape hatch leads into the sewers.
Yeah, I'm definitely
check out the sewers.
I'm definitely curious about that. Like, why is this down here?
Well, excuse me, and I will hop down there and I'll see what I can see. 20 feet, you say, down?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, she'll hop down.
Okay. So you you climb down. Do you have?
Yeah,
Well,
climb,
go ahead
probably
and.
because hopping 20 feet is...
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a.
No!
Yeah. A survival check just to get your bearings on where these tunnels lead.
Yeah. Okay. Survival. 9.
9. Okay. Yep. And so you can see that one leads back to the town and the other, it kind of splits 3 ways. So one leads like straight into the town, one leads across the street from you towards the direction of the church of the temple, as well as the Last Stop Tavern, and one leads north of town, like leaving out of town. But that's kind of the only bearings you can get.
Okay. Do I see... I have 120 foot dark vision. Do I see anything?
No, you don't see anything that is out of place then outside of the tunnel. I mean, you see some. I mean, it's not even like a flowing sewer. It's like very small, not a lot of stuff to it.
Okay. She climbs back up and says, well, I mean, there's not really much to see. It just looks like a pathway to different parts of the town that Kiirion probably installed to be able to escape if he needs to his favorite places.
But what direction?
She tells them what Nico just told us.
You said towards the church and to the north?
Yep, so south leads you into town, like towards the old district, which has all the houses and stuff. And then west takes you toward the temple and it's like southwest takes you to the temple and the Last Stop Tavern, and then there's one tunnel that leads north. So it's like a 3-way tunnel that's done. The tunnel that leads you north, there's no housing that leaves you away from town, because your house is the northernmost house in all of Eterno.
Yeah, like that leads out of like. Okay, so the north leads to out of town. Like, was my dad leaving town somehow? I've never known him
to the north.
No, the cabin's on the other side of town from where we are.
Yep,
southwest.
Oh.
Huh.
I mean, it's getting pretty close to nighttime now, right?
Yeah, you guys are coming up on making like one decision before it gets. I mean, following through on one action or one path before it gets dark. Whatever route you take, it's going to be dark by the time you get to completing that. At this point,
you know, I'm curious to what leads to the north. Like, why did he have that pathway? But we got to worry about the safety of the town and its citizens, as well as finding out what's going on in the woods down there near the cabin. It's getting too close to time, so I think we need to head out and either deal with the Zill or find out more information on the cabin area and where he died.
You know, my vote is for the cabin. I don't care about the Zill and what they're doing until I know that it is directly related to your father.
Yeah.
It's not a concern to me.
I understand.
Yeah, Baya is going to still push towards making sure the people of the town are safe and making sure that the last known place of the Zill is Zill free.
Who was holding the waystones?
Baya.
Well, I think it's best for us to at least go by the farm on our way out to because as much as I want to use this, I believe it takes us out to the cabin, but if we walk there, we can at least make sure everybody's protected as well.
All right, so let's walk to the cabin.
Yeah, I think so.
To the cabin.
Okay, so you guys leave the house, and the sun isn't fully setting yet, but you do know probably by the time you get to where the cabin is, it will have set. So you start walking, you cross the street, you pass the temple, walk through the little garden area, past the Last Stop Tavern, cross that street again, get into the farms with the crops, with the sun shrooms and the, everything else that's there, the farming crops that are out of place and not necessarily seasonal. And you pass the 2 farms and you get to the path that Terranil had told you about. And you begin following that path and following his directions. And you get out pretty deep into the woods. And go ahead and make me a survival check.
16.
19.
17.
Wow. Okay. Sweet. So all of you followed the path out to the cabin, and you get to a spot where you recognize the tracks kind of break away, and one continues to lead you towards the cabin in the direction that Terranil had told you to go, and another breaks away and heads back up north away from the cabin. And you can tell that it's kind of worn down, but not a whole ton. But it definitely seems like a common path that was taken probably by Kiirion if he was out here in the woods going back and forth. This was kind of the route that he was taking. And probably the reason that Terranil went past here is because this route is a little bit more beaten down and stuff as well. But you guys continue on to the cabin, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys continue on to the cabin, and the cabin is really like a one-room, smaller outdoors cabin. It's got a small fireplace on it. It doesn't have a front porch or anything like that. It just got a nice little wooden door on the front. It's pretty well built. It's not super rundown or anything like that, but it's also not super new. So it doesn't look like it's been completely abandoned or anything like that, but it also doesn't look like it gets frequently used for anything. Obviously, being out on the property, far away from the city, nobody else is using it. It's that just kind of makes sense. So like the foliage around it's kind of overgrown. There's not a lot of like firewood or anything chopped up next to it, but it's a smaller cabin that's out there. And yeah, well, how do you guys go about checking this cabin out?
Y'all got anything?
So, yeah.
It looked like you were going to say something.
Checking the cabin out. Sure. I was waiting to see if anybody else was going to say anything.
Yeah, I was going to say go inside, look around.
So look for fresh tracks around the entrance of the cabin to see if anybody has recently been around, broken sticks, whatever. Look for any other entrances besides the front door. Maybe do kind of a scout around of the cabin to see if there are any traps set for animals or anybody else on the perimeter of the cabin.
Look for windows, see if we can get a look inside so we know what we're going to walk into.
Yeah, because this is where we believe Kiirion died, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go off your last survival rolls because they were all really good for all three of you. So I think that should be rewarded. You guys, there's not a lot of broken sticks or anything like that. Vartan, knowing Kiirion, would know that he is very outdoorsy, very good in the woods, just natural with nature. The whole family is.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have left a trail of like smashed up stuff, not like somebody walking around in armor. So that makes sense that even if Kiirion was coming out here, you wouldn't see a lot of that. And then also the only other person that was really out here was Terranil, and he is a halfling who's pretty light-footed as well. So you guys don't see any like broken twigs, broken stuff at all. Around the cabin, there is a window. There's not a window on the side that has the door, but there's a window on the other three sides of the cabin. And on the far side of the cabin from the door, the back side of the cabin, if you would say the side with the door is the front, the window is broken.
All right.
Back there, there is a small stack of firewood, maybe 15 little logs of firewood, but nothing crazy.
Well, is it broken into or broken out of?
Broken into.
Should we look inside, see what the inside looks like? Do we not want to creep up in case there's somebody already in there?
I mean, anybody who would be in there would probably be somebody of the town. I mean, we aren't suspicious of anyone causing any harm or worried about our own safety at this point. Unless there's a krill in there. Or Zill, sorry.
Zill.
I don't know. Sorry.
I need to Google whatever a krill is.
It's little fishy things that whales eat.
Yeah.
The things that live in their mouth or whatever?
No, they're like the microscopic little bugs that whales eat by the millions.
Isn't it like something from Star Trek too?
Yeah, that's where it's coming from for me, Star Trek, actually.
Nerds.
No, it's on the Orville. The Orville is the krill is
the bad guys.
Yeah.
Aren't they the bad guys?
Yeah, they are the like the vampire kind of like the sun hurts them. Yeah, that's the krill.
Is Orville a show?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Seth MacFarlane's take on
Star Trek, but better.
It's pretty great.
Sorry, it reminded me.
Oh, see, yeah, I was thinking crawl, I guess. Yeah, crawl. All right. Anyway, Zill are what they're called. And, I mean, they're the only thing that we're currently in fear of. We have no reason to be afraid of anything else. Yeah?
Right.
So
from seeing the size of it, I don't think it would just fit in that window, though.
Right. So, I mean, I feel like I would feel comfortable as Baya just walking up to the broken window and looking in.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
You walk up to the window and you look in, and go ahead and make an investigation check. I'll tell you what you find, and then depending on how well you do, what else you find.
12.
Okay, cool. So you look in the window, and in the cabin, you do see that some of the door, the backside of the door, is scratched up, and there are scratch marks on some of the walls and even the ceiling. You also see that there is blood stains on the floor and on the walls. And then to the back of the corner with your 12, you find that there is some camping gear inside the cabin, but it's like bundled up.
Okay. I go to the boys and I say, well, it looks like this place housed a wild animal, and somebody was camping with them. I'm not sure why.
Was the camping gear, like, large?
Did the camping gear look like it was for a large person, or?
Yeah, like the sleeping bag looked pretty big. Like
okay.
Furbog sized.
Yeah, I do believe that it was a very large person that went camping, and either they turned into a wild animal and scratched the door because they couldn't figure out how to get out, or they were camping with a wild animal. I'm not sure. There's a lot of scratch marks and some blood.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that that's my father's, and maybe whatever killed him was what was going on in there, and somehow door got closed later on.
So how would it get in there, though, is the question.
I mean, all this magic and portals and everything going on, maybe he summoned it, or I don't know, on purpose or accident.
We determined earlier that the krill, or the zill, now you got me doing it. The zill wouldn't have made those scratches, right? Didn't the mayor say that or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the zill don't kill that way, right? You just disappear.
Oh, yeah.
And they found his Kiirion's dead body, so they do not believe that the zill killed Kiirion.
Right.
I think the only way we're going to get answers...
Just rename it the krill. Just
The
rename
it. I think the only way we're going to get answers is if we go in here. Maybe. I don't know, but I think we should be ready just in case something's hiding in there.
Yeah, but I think it's time to go in. We've come out all the way out here. Time to go inside and see what we can find.
And we'll pull out my hammer. Get ready.
All right. So you guys walk in?
Yup.
Yeah. Do we? Yeah, no, just walk in.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys walk into the door, and the inside is much like it looks like on through the window. The only difference is now you've switched sides that you're looking at, and you can tell against the wall there is a small sink and a small little stove there. That's you can cook and clean and stuff for the cabin. Off to the left-hand side is the camping gear, if you guys want to go check that out. And then you can get a better look at the scratches and marks that are on the walls and on the ceiling.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start checking out the gear.
I'll look at the scratches.
All right, make your rolls, your investigation checks.
Ugh. There are scratches in the door. 17.
Oh, dang. All right.
I rolled a 19.
So, that's awesome. -2. Yeah, so for the camping gear, it's got the full set of camping stuff, right? So it's got water, it's got some dry mix with some nuts and some, grains and stuff. But also you find 3 scrolls in there, and you easily identify those scrolls as well. And the scrolls are alarm spells. But aside from that, you've got your normal camping stuff. There's like a small little knife in there for, cutting things. Camping people need knives.
Yeah.
The scratches for Ovyck. You just find some random scratches on the door. None of them look to be weapon made. That's what you can tell with your roll. They look to be claws of some sort.
Okay.
And then, Baya, what were you looking at?
Baya was helping Ovyck.
Okay, what'd you get for your roll?
I got a 15. 15.
Okay, so a 15, you're looking at the walls and the ceiling for the scratches and stuff, and you notice that on the window, when you get close to that, on the floor next to it, where the broken glass is, there is a large chunk of what appears to be a wing, like the type of material of a heavy, big wing, like an insect wing. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ethereal Embrace, and A Fool's Quest production. Vartan the Furbog Fighter is voiced and played by Adam Culbertson. Baya Rustin, the half-elf sorcerer, is voiced and played by Tisha. Ovyck, the Tiefling Cleric, is voiced and played by Chris Johnson. And I am Nico, your GM. Please remember to drop us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcatcher. Music provided in part by Midnight Syndicate, makers of the original Dungeons & Dragons soundtrack. If you would like to follow us on social media or say hello to the cast, details on where to find us will be in this episode's notes. Remember, be safe, we love you all, and stay foolish.